Hello and welcome. I'm Jeremy Olivier, and here's what happened this week. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te has hailed the U.S. territory of Guam as a key bridge between Taipei and Washington. He made the comments as he welcomed Guam's governor to the presidential office. As Rick Lauert reports, the pair also touted increased cooperation.
Here at Taiwan's presidential office in the heart of the capital, Taipei, Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te is welcoming the governor of Guam, a U.S. territory in the Pacific. It's Governor Lu Leon Guerrero's first visit to Taiwan since she took office. The island of Guam, about 2,700 kilometers away, is the closest U.S. territory to Taiwan, and it's also home to one of the largest U.S. military bases in the region. While Taiwan and the U.S. do not have official diplomatic ties, a visit like this carries weight. Taiwan depends on the U.S.'s support to counter China, which claims Taiwan as part of its territory and threatens to take by force. The U.S.'s deterrence in this region depends on the strategically located island of Guam.
I share the same belief that we, in collaboration, cooperation, and support, and working with each other, we can gain prosperity, continue our freedom and democracy, and live in peaceful, deserving life.
Lai and Guerrero highlighted shared Austronesian roots, cooperation in healthcare and education, and said they plan to boost tourism and flights between the two islands. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te has made bolstering ties with the Pacific a priority of his presidency. Last year, he spent a week visiting friends and allies there, including Guam, touting shared histories and values. This visit, another demonstration of how Lai is looking east towards the Pacific as he counters China's claims over his country. Eason Chen and Rick Lauert in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan Centers for Disease Control is urging people to get vaccinated amid a surge in respiratory infections. COVID cases in particular are on the rise, and that's leaving doctors' offices packed and COVID tests in short supply. John Van Trieste reports.
A bump in COVID, flu, and para-influenza has clinics like this busy. Many of those here today are concerned parents. Schools make great breeding grounds for respiratory bugs.
小朋友他去上课嘛，其实都会交叉感染啊。其实他像他的状况，他已经就是持续咳嗽、流鼻水1个礼拜。虽然说现在疫情不会到严重到重症，但是其实也是会影响到他。
因为他们学校也很多人不舒服，咳嗽、流鼻涕、感冒。那趁假日的时候，赶快大家来看。
Doctors say an uptick in COVID is especially pronounced. The most recent week with figures, May 11th to 17th, saw around 19,000 new confirmed cases. Variants are getting better at spreading and avoiding immune systems. Meanwhile, immunity in the population is down.
这些病毒加起来的话，就造成交互感染啦。现在呼吸道病患，我觉得应该3、4成、4、5成，几乎都是新冠。
But just how fast COVID is spreading is hard to gauge.
有没有快筛？
快筛目前都要等到6月中以后才有。6月中哦。
Even those who want to test themselves for COVID have found pharmacies across the country are out of test kits. The Centers for Disease Control held a meeting with manufacturers last week to try and secure the supply chain, but results may take time.
目前厂商那边都没有什么库存，因为这一段时间空下来了哈，只能观望，因为不确定性太高了，所以目前我们手上也没有什么存货。
For now, the uptick doesn't look as bad as a spike that hit roughly the same time in 2024, at least not yet. But the CDC is encouraging people to get vaccinated in the hopes the uptick in cases stays under control. Luffy Li and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Prosecutors in Kaohsiung are seeking the death penalty for a man charged with 3 murders in a case that shocked the nation. 73-year-old Zhang Jiezong is suspected of killing and dismembering 3 women and dumping their bodies in a canal. Prosecutors say he also stole from the victims. They are asking the court for 3 death sentences. Zhang has denied the charges against him. President Lai Ching-te gave the Coast Guard special encouragement ahead of the Dragon Boat Festival with a visit to frontline personnel. While this kind of visit isn't unusual, the situation around Taiwan is far from normal, with China apparently practicing for a blockade. John Van Trieste reports.
President Lai Ching-te greets Coast Guard personnel defending Taiwan's north coast. The country may be preparing for the annual Dragon Boat Festival this weekend, but many of the people here will be on duty, helping any ships in distress and scanning the seas for intruders. President Lai is thanking these mariners for their dedication to the country and suggesting ways to make their work easier.
我们知道现有的雷达、监视器等科技工具必然有它的死角，特别是红外线热显像系统的建设工作，也要导入人工智慧。 来做最后判读的工作。
It's a typical presidential visit at a decidedly untypical time. Because China is stepping up pressure all around Taiwan to push its claims of sovereignty. For 2 days in a row, it sent vessels into restricted waters around the outlying Jinmen Islands, Taiwan's closest outpost to the Chinese coast. This kind of incursion has become a new normal, with Jinmen's waters seeing around 4 Chinese intrusions a month, testing Taiwan's resolve. And Jinmen is just one small corner of the waters where China is flexing its muscles. It spent the past month sending out unusual fleets through the wider region. Both of China's aircraft carriers have been spotted near Taiwan in recent days, as Chinese warplanes and ships probe Taiwan's defenses. On Tuesday alone, there were 31 Chinese warplanes and 10 ships detected near Taiwan. Some security analysts see this as possible practice for an encirclement and blockade.
This is a signal that China may be preparing actions short of an invasion against Taiwan in the next few years. This contingency and others can only be addressed and averted if our allies in both regions and the United States work closely together.
And then there are the Chinese citizens who've landed undetected on Taiwan's shores using dinghies. In one recent case, planting a Chinese flag on the beach. There have been 27 intrusions of this kind in the past 2 years that officials know about, and they suspect state backing.
这种分布很难用政治、经济、社会的条件，他们所有的配备都相当的模组化，所以我也曾经说过，我们不排除说是有系统性的操作，但是这一切都是我们在两岸灰色袭扰事件当中所需要做的防范措施。
Amid all of this, the Coast Guard is especially sensitive. The discovery that one branch commander spied for China has Lai calling on personnel to be more alert. But with the expectation of more drills and maneuvers and attempts to infiltrate high places, what's clear is that even if the upcoming holiday turns out uneventful, the Coast Guard can expect to stay busy as China tries to assert dominance at sea. Liang Lian and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Nearly 80% of Taiwanese people do not agree with Beijing's claim that Taiwan will eventually be a part of China. That's according to a poll by the Mainland Affairs Council, which manages relations with Beijing. The survey also found the majority of people disapprove of China demanding that other countries abide by its one China principle. Almost 70% of the respondents said they're open to dialogue between the two sides as long as they're treated as equals. Many also agreed with several of President Lai's moves to combat what he calls Chinese influence and infiltration. Some good news for Taiwan's workers, who will soon get a few more public holidays each year. The announcement on Wednesday was welcomed by some workers in the capital, Taipei. But as Cadence Guaranta reports, the choice of holidays has also stirred up some debate.
Taiwan can have a pretty intense work culture. People here work between 10 to 20% more than people in Europe and North America. So many will be happy to know about a new law that just passed that will give workers more days off. The bill adds 4 extra public holidays every year and extends Labor Day to public sector employees who previously didn't get that day off. Those holidays include the day before Lunar New Year's Eve, Confucius's birthday, Constitution Day, and Retrocession Day, which celebrates the end of Japanese rule in Taiwan and its transfer to ROC control. These aren't new holidays, but ones that Taiwanese workers didn't previously get off. And many that we talked to on the streets today were very happy about this.
我觉得适当的休息是非常重要的，因为我们平常大家都忙于工作，那如果休息可以让自己的生活品质更好。
增加一些新的假日，对员工来说是非常好的事情啊。我们可以多一点时间陪伴家人啊，然后有些时间可以出去消费啊、旅游。
But online, Constitution Day and Retrocession Day have caused some controversy, with some people saying they're a celebration of Taiwan's authoritarian era under controversial former leader Chiang Kai-shek. they say there are other holidays that could have been chosen. Regardless of which days they fall on, these extra holidays are set to give Taiwanese workers more time off, marking a notable shift in Taiwan's approach to work-life balance. Fu Huaheng, Heng Xu, and Cadence Quaranta for TaiwanPlus.
The World Masters Games, an international multi-sports event, has just wrapped up in Taipei. Among those taking part in the games is the world's oldest badminton player, Yu-mao. Our reporter Sandy Chi went to meet him to find out the secret of how he's still playing at the age of 104.
Now entering is the embodiment of lifelong utility, Mr. Yu-mao, representing inclusion.
The crowd goes wild as 104-year-old Yu-mao walks on stage to ignite the ceremonial flames along with 4 other Taiwanese iconic figures, kicking off the World Masters Games.
进去的时候，我的心情上啊，非常的幸福。
Ling is a living legend, the world's oldest active badminton player who has been playing for over half a century. At the Masters Games in Taipei, he took part in an exhibition doubles match with Taiwanese Olympic gold medalist Li Yang as his partner. Ling claimed victory against Li Yang's father and his former coach. Why was the game only an exhibition match? Purely because Ling has nobody else in his age category to compete against.
因为我年纪大，这么大的年纪能够到球馆站在那边的人就很少。如果也有100岁的组跟我来配我，这次我参加比赛，因为不管怎么样呢，羽毛球最高到80岁为止，没有100岁、90岁、100岁更没有。 那么我100岁的话，就是我一个人了。
Ling has been passionate about sports from a young age, with early interests ranging from tennis and pole vaulting to tai chi. But it wasn't until the age of 50 that he discovered his true calling, badminton. Since then, he has gone on to win numerous trophies and medals, proving that it's never too late to pursue your passion.
他那个速度也很快。 杀球下去，救球下来的话，人家这如果旁观的人啊，都是掌声如雷，就是很热闹、很激烈。
For decades, Ling prioritized his health, determined to stay active. He says he's only ever had one injury, an accident while helping train others that cost him his right eye. Still, he has no regrets. His unwavering positivity is what keeps him moving forward. His passion is even shown in his wardrobe.
我呢，就一直喜欢穿虎，还有穿虎的话比较热情。我这个人生啊，就是多运动啊，多唱歌啊，多跳舞啊，多做好事。
Ling also shared his secret with NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang at the opening ceremony.
So what is your secret to? 你的 secret 是？你的秘密，你的维持健康的秘密。
多看美女。
多看美女。
Ling hits the badminton court 3 times a week, proof that age is no barrier when you have passion. Jiansu, Luffy Li, Rainu, and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwanese table tennis duo Lin Yunru and Kaohsiung have clinched a silver medal in the men's doubles at the World Table Tennis Championships finals in Doha. They lost a hard-fought battle to Japan's world #2 duo Togami Shunsuke and Shinozuka Hiroto, following by 3 games to 2 on the title match on Sunday. It marks the first time Taiwan has claimed silver in men's doubles at the World Table Tennis Championships. Thank you for watching Here's What Happened. Finally, take a look at Taiwan's tallest Chinaberry tree, which towers over a small village in Taiwan's central mountain range. I'm Jeremy Olivier. Take care and see you next week.